You don't have to start, but I just wanted to push it.
Okay. Well, I guess it's 2:01 on my end. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Appreciate everyone coming to the poster committee workshop. Looks like it's all a committee right now. My name's Brian Howler. I'm the national chair from Arkansas for the research and education poster. I wanted to introduce our committee. Our vice chair for the southern region is Jan Yingling from Arkansas, and Jan will be actually retiring after this AMPIC. And then Casey Yost from northeast region from Pennsylvania. She'll also be retiring. So we're going to lose them and hate to lose them. And then we have Stephanie Karoff from North Central from Ohio, and Avik McJury from the Western region from Arizona. And today with us, we have Daniel Leonard, our council chair for the program recognition chair, and I appreciate him coming. Is there anything you'd like to share before we get started, Daniel?
No, it's your show today. Just here for answer any questions you may have and just hang out
Okay.
with you guys.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. And then I just want to thank Scott too, because if you've been around any time at all, you know Scott is a lifesaver. And I know he cringes when he sees my name on email or when he answers the phone and say, "Hey, it's Brian from Arkansas." So, but he's always there to help, and I do greatly appreciate that. Uh, let's see here. Kind of what I was just going to do is go through kind of what our committee is and what this workshop is. I realize we've got all committee people here, but so will this, I know it's being recorded. Will this be posted if people need to watch it later or?
Yep, under the professional development heading on the homepage, um, one of the subheads is webinars, which is kind of where we put anything that we do online. So the 365s, these committee meetings, things like that. Typically, I've got them up within the same day or at least within 24 hours. So
Okay.
it will be there.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and go through my whole thing, spill, but also like to recognize, and they're both on our incoming vice chairs from the Northeast region, Laura Kinney from Pennsylvania, and then Charlotte Maxwell from the Southern region from South Carolina. And I look forward to working with y'all on that. Uh, for next year. You are welcome to come by and kind of see what we're doing when it comes to the poster session at the AMPIC, but glad to have you on board. So these committee workshops, each within within the NACAA, we have a lot of different committees, and so these workshops are are done to help. One, we have to develop a plan of work as a committee on what we're planning on doing for next year. And within that plan of work, we also have asked, and the plan of work that we do, we actually submit it to Daniel, our council chair. Then he submits it, presents it to our board, and so anything that we may want to change or suggest change, that goes through the board, and they have to approve that. Uh, but so so these workshops are here to help that committee. And but the nice thing I like about our organizations, our organization, I mean, is we have structure. And so we have a chain of command and we go through that. But it's just like extension. It starts at the bottom, if you will. Maybe not, I shouldn't say the bottom, but it starts with with the agents, the boots on the ground of what we look like that we may need or need to do. And so this committee workshop is just to help to plan that and also to get the information out on, what we're doing and how we're doing it and to see if there's anything we need to change in the future. So, And of course, our committee is with the research and education posters. If you've never done a poster before, the posters are a great way to get involved, a great way to get within the proceedings. So anytime when you do present a poster and submit an abstract, that abstract gets put in the proceedings for the AMPIC. And so, for many of us, we need that for our professional development, but also for promotion documents or tenure or things like that. So it's a great way to do that. But not only with that, the posters is a great way to share and network with other agents and see what other agents are doing. And also, we kind of harp on a lot with our members in our association in Arkansas that a lot of times we may be doing stuff in our county that we think's pretty simple, not that big of a deal. Uh, but then, but you never know, with someone in another state, they may have never thought about what it is that you're doing in your state. And so, no matter how small you may think you're doing, being able to do a poster or a presentation really helps to it really helps other agents and then in understanding and doing things and getting some new ideas for programs. So with that, I'll just go on with our poster process. We have two categories in posters: applied research and extension education. Members are allowed to submit one in each category. They can't do two extension education or two applied research, but they can do one in each category. Most people just do one, but you can if you're a real go-getter. You have an option of your poster to be judged, or it can be display only. And so there's those two options that we have. We used to not have that. They used to be all judged, but now we've kind of changed that. Some of it is because way back when we'd actually they did the judging at the AMPIC, and it took a long, long time to get that all done. And so we've kind of shortened that up with that. So the poster judging begins in the state, and so all our posters and abstracts are due March 15th in the NACAA website, and so they're selected. I know we had some issues this past year on that deadline, but the board and Scott and everybody was very gracious, and Daniel to push that forward because of the issues that we couldn't help with. I made a mistake of going on a cruise during that time, which made my committee probably pull their hair out. But anyway, poor planning on my part, but enjoyed the cruise. But so but those posters will be due March 15th, and that's a hard deadline that as long as I've ever known, it's been that March 15th deadline. So with that, our state poster committee chair they have credentials in our website to look at those, and then they'll actually have those judged. And we have a internal committee deadline of April 1st to have their state winners selected. They'll select a state winner for each one for applied research and extension education. They will select those on the website, and then our regional vice chairs, the ones that I mentioned, they'll from each state winner from their region, they'll take those and they'll do just like the state chairs, and they'll have somebody judge those. But with that, we come up with three regional finalists in each category. And so our vice chairs for the region, their deadline is April 15th. And then from there, me or the national chair will review those and select those winners and select it on the website. And once I do that, that's when they actually get populated into the website where you can see if you've been accepted. The last 2 years, I've made sure I tried to email each applicant to let them know that they're available. And we actually changed our deadlines a little bit from the internal part of that. And I failed to get with Scott on the December edition of the County Agent Magazine. If you'll look in there, those deadlines are like in May and June. But we're having problems with people not being able to do the early bird registration because they didn't know if their posters were accepted or not. So as a committee ourselves, we pushed those dates up. So my goal is by April 15th or 16th to get that information out, and that way our members, our poster authors, have the choice to decide if they're going to go to the AMPIC and go ahead and do that and get that early bird registration. Any comments or questions so far? Okay. Well, of course, our AMPIC is in Colorado this year in Denver, July 8th through the 12th. We've had 163 posters submitted this year. That's down just a little bit from last year. We had 188 last year submitted. Last year in Montana, we had 188 submitted, but there was 161 that actually came and brought them to the AMPIC. And we've already had a few that have emailed me and said they're not going to be able to attend. In the judge category, we had 82 extension education posters, 33 are applied research for a total of 115. Display only is a 35 extension ed, 13 applied research for 48. So that gives us our total of submitted at 163. Our AMPIC this year, the schedule's a little bit different than past AMPICs. If you went to Montana, it was a lot different, a little bit shorter. This year, the AMPIC itself, schedule-wise, is kind of more traditional like we've had in the past. But there is a difference in the fact that we're not starting on a Sunday, we're starting on a Wednesday. And you may think, well, that's not a big deal, but if you're like Daniel and myself, it's been to several of these AMPICs, you kind of get yourself confused because you just automatically think the first day's Sunday and it's not. So we will be starting on a Wednesday with that. The posters will be in the trade show area. They will be doing pipe and drape. Last year was our first time to do the pipe and drape in Montana. I have to admit I was a little skeptical going into Montana, but Montana Association did a awesome job with that, and it worked just flawlessly. So I will be working with a Colorado group, and they were there at Montana to see what was done. And so I think we've got a great plan. I know on my email to my poster authors, I put in there you might consider doing your posters on cloth. I just think they hang a little bit better, but that doesn't mean you have to. And so we had a lot of posters that weren't cloth, and they did fine too. So, but that is a little bit different than what we had prior to Montana. We've had those hard uh, boards where you put push pins in it. So a little bit different, but it worked really well. So just to give a go through the schedule for the AMPIC on Wednesday, July 8th from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock is a setup for that. The poster session itself starts Thursday, July 9th from 9 to 4:30, and on Friday, July 10th from 9 to 3:30. The judging for the regional finalists will be Thursday, July 9th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then we'll have one meet the author session on Thursday, July 9th at 10:30 to through 11:30. Last year we only had one session. In past AMPICs we've had two, but so we'll just have one meet the author session. For those regional finalists, they are invited to the Communication Poster Awards Program luncheon on Friday, July 10th. That is an invite only program because those meals are very expensive, so it's just those regional finalists that go to that. And then we'll take down our posters on Friday, July the 10th at 3:30 p.m. For those that do have posters coming in on Wednesday, if because I know things happen with the airlines, if you have issues trying to get here and can't get here by the 5 o'clock deadline, if you'll text or call me or email me, and I've put that in my email that I sent to the authors just to let me know, and that way we can make arrangements for that. But any questions so far about the AMPIC and how that's going to work? Okay, well, just I guess get to the meat of the committee meeting is our plan of work, and I'm going to go ahead and just talk about what we planned for 2025 that we submitted. One of the things we did was to streamline the national judging, possibly moving it prior to AMPIC. That was not approved by the board, and that really stemmed from I can't remember which AMPIC, maybe Texas or the one before that. We had some issues. The timing was really close, and so we had people coming in to be at the poster author session, and we weren't quite done judging. We had an issue with a judge, didn't get there on time, and then they took their sweet time on judging. And so, but last year it worked out really well. And so, it's something, anytime you go through something, that's the most important thing. And at the time, that's kind of what we thought we might do to help alleviate that. But really and truly, in my opinion, it doesn't. I don't mind doing it at the MPIC, and I'm a kind of a traditionalist, so I kind of like doing it the way we've been doing it. So that didn't get approved. The other thing was to create a, FAQ sheet for the state and regional chairs on their responsibilities. And our committee worked on that. Jan Yingling did a line share of that, and that got approved, and that was done already. The other was to do some proposed changes to the scorecards. Our scorecards were pretty general. Couldn't get a lot of detail into it, especially when you got into the regional, national finalist judging. We had problems, of having ties and things like that. And so we got that approved. I failed to get it to get with Scott to get it on the website. Uh, so we'll roll that out for 2027. I don't feel like because the others on there, I think we need to go with what we had. And so we've got a system and we'll work with that for this year, and then we'll get that up there for 2027. I kind of already mentioned this, but we had just to talk about the change in the deadlines and the main thing, not change the March 15th, but just our internal deadlines. And so again, I failed to get that with Scott, so I'll get that for next year. And the last thing that we asked for was to change the poster check-in time to afternoon. The last couple of years, they've been from like 8 in the morning till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Most people aren't getting there in the morning, and we ran into a lot of issues with flight delays and different things like that. So we've shortened the amount of time that you have to put up your poster, but it's all in the afternoon. So we hope that'll help any of those things like that. Um, so for 2026, just some things I wrote down. And this is for me as a national chair to make sure to get that stuff, the scorecards and those internal deadlines to Scott, and also get those new score sheets uploaded. But is there any questions or anything that looks like a Vic, you have a question?
Yeah, hi Scott. So I have one question. So as a vice chair or a committee member, so are there any policies regarding the committee members submitting their own posters for judging and awards that we can change from maybe next year?
I mean, we can ask, but I think that's done because it just I'll just be blunt. I mean, it just doesn't look good if your committee member, your vice chair is competing and we're getting the judges and you as a vice chair are getting a judge, it just I mean, I can submit it to the board and we can talk about it as a committee. Uh, but I feel pretty certain they're going to vote that down, but we can still address it. And I don't know if
Yeah, right. I agree with you. But in case if we can just manage a few judges for the committee members posters to judge, like from the unbiased perspective, so that would be great.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. Any other questions or thoughts or things that we need to do different as a poster committee? I realize we're not, perfect, and so we can always do better. And so if there's anything that anyone has for any of that, well, you're a quiet group.
I guess I would just say I really like your emails that you put together that we can then just forward out to our states and, just of the processes, the timelines. So I don't know. I mean, moving forward, that could almost be a document itself that you just share.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yes. Yeah,
I don't know
definitely.
if y'all I don't know if y'all realize it, but you have one of the better national chairs in charge of this
Oh,
committee. So
well, thank you. I don't know about that, but I appreciate that, Daniel. But and part of the emails, I've been a vice chair and then kind of been where you are as a vice chair, but also uh, and I've done posters too. And so, the more we can get the information out, the better. Sometimes, though, as you all know, we're all busy. and things get away from us, and so we don't get things done like we should. But I think you know I appreciate that, Casey, and I think that's a something we needed to always do that. And I'll just try to when I roll out as national chair, we do. We'll have folders of things. Used to be old paper folders back. That's how old I am. But now, everything's electronic. And so Nick Simmons, the national chair from Florida that I worked under, he had a OneDrive file and he gave that to me. So I've got those to go back on. But also it's something, and you as a vice chair that are rolling off, to be able to share your information too with the new vice chairs coming in. Anything else? Okay.
I have a
Right.
quick question as an incoming vice chair.
Okay.
What are our duties like in person at the AMPEC?
So good question. So we'll register the posters as they come in, so we know because so for you for an author to be in the proceedings uh, for the AMPIC, you have to show up and present your poster. So we have to check those in. We'll help make sure they get put up. And then on that morning of the judging, we'll all be there and do help with that. That's another thing. The vice chairs will get two judges from their region to be the judges at the AMPIC, and so we're just the vice chairs will be there to help tally up the scores. We've got a spreadsheet that we use, and so we'll just kind of work just that process. That day before. That first day of AMPIC, the setting up, you're there for, at least 4 hours or so, and just a couple hours after that. On the poster takedown on that day, I usually try to be there, and it might not hurt for a vice chair or so to be there, but for the most part, that's pretty straightforward. They take it down. Probably our main thing is getting the poster set up and kind of in an order. Uh, Last year we had the extension ed on one side and applied research on one side, and made sure that all our regional finalists were together, just so it makes it easier with judging and so forth. But that answer your question, or?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Brian, you probably touched it, and it's just the fact that I'm sitting here working on the program right now. What is the time frame that the judging is taking place?
I just went by what was in the
8 to
magazine,
10?
which this is typical. It's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Okay, I saw that and then I thought, well, I can't remember if that was one of the changes that needed to be made, but that's fine. That's what I've got
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, that's what we've done in the past, and
Okay.
I appreciate too that the Meet the Authors doesn't start till 10:30, so it gives us 30 minutes to, in case we do get a judge that drags their feet, we can get that all posted and everything.
Okay.
So, uh, let me ask you this, the committee, do you think it's okay to have one Meet the Author session? Uh, I know I know we didn't last year because sake of time and room, but other AMPICs we've had two sessions. Uh, any thoughts, yay or nay, or doesn't matter? Okay, we got one speak up about that. I think one is fine. So,
I thought just having one worked well, Brian. And then I was
okay.
going to ask for securing judges for this AMPIC. Do we have access to maybe a list of past judges? Just so we maybe have a starting point.
Uh, I mean, you might contact Heather Gessner from
Okay.
South Dakota, because you replaced her, and see who she used. I kind of had a system when I was a vice chair. I try to find a state that wasn't one of the regional finalists, and a lot of times I picked on the states that didn't have any posters at all to help me judge. But I don't know that there's a real true rhyme or reason behind it, other just someone. And I have so early on as a vice chair, when I didn't maybe not know as many people, I have went to your board representative for the North Central and say, hey, do you know somebody that would be willing to be a poster? Because those those board members, they know a lot of folks because of where they are in their position, and so you might could reach out to them. But Heather Gessner, and I always get mixed up on which Dakota she's at, but
South.
South, okay. You might reach out to her and she could tell you who she's used, because she's been the vice chair now. She was for 4 years as a vice chair, so
Okay, that sounds good.
good, thank you. As far as the vice chairs too, if you can be there at 1 o'clock on that Wednesday, when we start checking in, I realize things happen and you may or may not can be there. But if you can be, that'd be great. Uh, I will be coming in the day before, uh, just to kind of make sure I have everything I need, and kind of lay my eyes on the poster area, just to kind of make me feel better, to know what I've got, and if I need to make any adjustments before Thursday. I mean before Wednesday, that is. Uh, Anything else?
Brian, if you think it's helpful, I mean, we could always start an Excel sheet that has past judges on it. Like,
Yeah,
and then that could just be one of those documents that goes along with all the other notes that you have that kind of rolls from year to year.
right. That's a good idea. Yeah. Because I know I have one guy in Tennessee, he likes to do it and he does a good job. And so I've used him. I'm pretty sure Jan got him last year too. He just enjoys doing it. Uh, Also, just a little bit change. And this is nothing. So in the past, the our judges have been invited, and our committee has been invited to the delegate session breakfast. That's the day of the judging, and and I don't know. To me, it's always seemed a little awkward because it's really the delegates that are there, and we're just kind of got invited to get a breakfast, and so you kind of feel like you don't belong. And so, and not against them, it's just it was a token for us to just kind of thanks and get a breakfast. So I have, and I think I've talked at least to the current committee about it, but uh, I told Scott we're not going to worry about doing that this year. But we do have a budget as a committee, and I'm going to try to get some gift cards or some little token to give our judges that come to the AMPIC to judge for us with that. So I hope. I hope that's okay. That's kind of what I've done because I don't know, because they don't so they won't, because when you go to that breakfast, the board of directors, they don't have you on a list saying that, because they go through there checking off the delegates for each state, and so it's a little, and then I always have to say, well, we're just with a poster, and oh yeah, yeah, and so. Um, and I don't know about you, but I really don't like 6:45 breakfasts. I'm a kind of a I'm not a great early morning person. I'd rather just roll out of bed and go. And but that's just me. Any uh, any other questions or comments or?
So, Brian, do we have any kind of important responsibilities on Friday afternoon? Because I have a presentation in uh, agronomy and pest management session on Friday afternoon at 2:30.
No, I mean, you will need to be at the luncheon, because you will help, and that's something, Laura Beth, I forgot to mention. We have that the awards program, the communications poster awards luncheon, and so typically what happens, the national chair will announce them, and then you all get to be dressed up and hand them their award and get your picture taken. And so you will need to be there for that. But that starts at 11:45 and ends at 1:15. So you'll have
Okay,
plenty of time of
yeah,
it.
that
And
should be
then
fine. Yeah.
yeah, and then like I said, they take down posters at 3:30. I don't know if there's any need for everybody to be there. I'll probably stick my head in there just to make sure, because I think last year I just went ahead and when it got to be 4 o'clock or so, I went ahead and gathered the posters up and took them to the headquarters. And that way, if someone didn't get there and then they were looking for their post, mainly so they don't get thrown away. So, uh, uh, that's kind of where we're at on that. Anything else? Okay, well, good deal. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Looking forward to working with Laura Beth and Charlotte. And hopefully you can come by and see us. I'm not holding you to be there to do work because you're just now coming on. But if you want to come by and see what we're doing, feel more than welcome to do that. And we look forward to working with you. So with that, that's all I've got. And I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Scott.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good weekend all.
No
Bye.
problem.